Hello and welcome to episode 259 of the Veeam Community Recap. I'm running solo. Madalena is in South Africa still, so I have the opportunity to do this by myself. All right, let's jump into it. So I got a number of things I want to talk about here this week, and the first up is a post from Michael Melter talking about sizing proxies for full backups. Really interesting because an incremental is different than a full. We always recommend doing a occasional full backups. Michael walks through some of the calculator type elements of the change rate in a backup window and how that applies to the different sizing. So he walks through what the calculator has here. And I think this is really insightful because why should I go for a full backup anyways? A lot of folks get really comfortable with the always incremental, which is really good, but I think there's a number of reasons it doesn't even fit on one page that Michael has of some of the reasons why you should have a full backup. So there's some sizing that goes into it because then that truly, like he says, just make the change rate 100%. That means that that proxy will be sized correctly to do a full backup. Walks through some of these details and the math associated with it. This is so cool. So I think this is really smart. Thank you, Michael Melter, for this one. All right, next up is Mohammed talking about the morning coffee report, how Data Resilience Daily is changing backup operations. I love this look here. He walks through what this may look like here. In this example, 192 sessions, 12 errors and 2 warnings. So that really tells you what you need to look into when something potentially in the environment has changed. Then you take a look at what were some of those issues, of course, blurring out the deets, and what happened. And I'm looking through here, timeouts, right? So that tells me some sort of connectivity right off the bat. That's what it's telling me. But definitely make sure that you are doing this one right here. Send me an AI-powered daily summary of the backup activities. You can do it right there. In fact, I have one of my environments. I'm going to turn that on as well. So thank you, Mohammed, for drawing attention to the morning coffee report. All right, next up, I'm breaking the rule, by the way. I'm by myself, so Maddie's not here to kind of keep me on the straight and narrow. Uh, Marcel talking about after the V13 upgrade, the console is not able to connect to the server itself. So, yeah, so in V12, it's not so sensitive to that local connection, but V13, we updated, and then, yeah, he got this message. I will say that there was no there's an emerging best practice is what I'm trying to say of having just a dedicated jump box to get into, especially if you have mixed VSA and V13 on Windows. So this was an upgrade to V13. So I like that he talks about how the gateway was sorted out and he then went through and then the default route and then these couple networking type things. So at least it's not DNS, right? So thank you, Marcel, for sharing this. And this is something that, especially I think going forward, I'm going to probably, for environments that have multiple Veeam backup and replication servers, I'm going to start just generally recommending for the Windows console to have a dedicated system for that. But there are times that you need to do local stuff. So thank you, Marcel, for that. I mentioned I'm breaking the rule. That's right, because Chris has some big news today. Chris has just published a book, the fourth release of Mastering Veeam Backup and Replication version 13. Want to also give a special shout out to Nicola on our team because she had the opportunity to write the foreword. She did a great job, and I helped out with a chapter. Writing a book is a lot of work, and I only committed to one chapter. And I will tell you that it was a lot of fun. I actually forgot how fun this is, but basically, here's the pretty picture. So yet officially him and I on the cover there. And I've done a few books. I think my other one, I think it's yeah, there it is. I did a Microsoft book back in the day, only a chapter, just because it's so much work, to do this. So congratulations, Chris. My chapter was around the actual console, using the navigation of the Windows UI as well as the web user interface. But happy to have done that for you. Congratulations, Chris. You had a lot more work on it than I did. And I don't know if it's public, but one of our friendlies was one of the technical reviewers. I'll just say that. So congratulations, Chris. All right, next up, just a reminder, go to the events part of the community hub for all the upcoming events that are happening. I know last week they talked about the Winnipeg event, so I'll let everyone know that on Monday, May 11th, Veeam user group will be in New York City. I think Stephen New has something to do with this one. Let's check it out. Let's see. That sounds like a schwanky place. Scality is in, I think Candida has something to do with that. But nonetheless, check it out. I appreciate those of you who are helping organize that one. And I won't be able to make it. I got my hands full with VMon, which is the very next day, but good stuff. Next up, there will be a user group in New Zealand and Nelson. Now, where is Nelson region? You know, I love these types of things. And again, when I'm doing this by myself, I can really have some fun with it. So let's take a look here. Let's see. Where is Nelson? Let's check it out in Nelson. All right, so that is South Island. Okay, so that's down there. So I'm not familiar with Nelson, New Zealand. But I will tell you, New Zealand events, people show up. That's really great. So let's check out the agenda a little bit more detail. Beers for Engineers. I love that. We've got Jason and Daniel. Oh, I love both of those folks. They are fantastic. Daniel, nice to see you here. And Jason, keep up the good work as well. So a little bit more kind of social type of content. I love these types of meetups. So check that out. South Island, New Zealand, rock on. And then Finland on the 21st, actually the same day. Let's put this one in English for me. That's going to be a little bit easier. So the Finnish user group has got their annual meeting on the 21st. That's my time, but looks like pretty much the whole day. Let's check out the agenda. Let's see. Well, back to English again. For me, at least, I do expect it to be delivered in many parts of it in Finnish. We'll have some security AI topics, beer and sauna. Oh man, I need to find my way. So let's see where we're going to be. Espoo. I think that's on the other side of Malmo. No, Helsinki, not even close. All right, not even close. I'm thinking of Sweden, the wrong country, but on the Helsinki area. So check this out. That looks like really good stuff. HPE sponsoring. Thank you, HPE, for that. All right, well, that is the last bit of special department that I want to bring your attention to, other than VMon is coming up. And I mentioned the user group will be the night before in New York City on the 11th, but also the online experience on the 12th, everyone can attend. So check this out. I will tell you that the online session will also have the keynote delivered. In fact, this one with Kirsten and Corinne, they do a lot of demos of the resilience products. Let's see, we got Colin and Gareth talking about data classification. Over here, we got Brad and Chris talking about converging security and resiliency, really where those two parts of the portfolio combine. We've got a partner session for those of you who work for our partners. And then also Anand and Rehan, that's the keynote, right? So that's kind of the run of show. So really good stuff. Check this out. And, you know, just like that, the recap is done. Next week, we should be back at it with full docket of content. Who's new? I probably missed something on special department. I didn't get to do the Vanguard blog spotlight. But thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next week on 260 next week.